We have new information about the shots fired on Madison's southwest side today. Police told News 3 Now what led up to that incident. Also, today marks 5 days since the government shutdown. We're covering the impacts this shutdown could have on the economy. And a walk for a good cause, the amount of money raised to end Alzheimer's here in Madison. That's all coming up on News 3 Now at 10. Good evening and thanks for joining us. My name is Tanasia Shaw. Jalen Banks has the night off. In developing news right now, several fire departments from different areas are responding to a residential fire in Westport. The fire was reported just after 6 p.m. and that scene is still active with multiple units on the scene right now. Dane County Communications says the fire was reported at Tuscany Lane, south of Surrey Lane. They say no roads have been blocked off and no injuries have been reported. To an update on the shots fired on Madison's southwest side, Madison Police Department say someone shot at a car after an argument. Here's video from the scene. This happened at 3 in the afternoon near Prairie and Hammerly Road. News 3 Now crews were on the scene as police knocked on doors during their early investigation. Police say no one is hurt and there is no threat to the public right now. I asked MPD if they made any arrests in this situation, but I have not heard back yet. And let's get a look at the forecast with our certified most accurate forecast with meteorologist Blaze Keller. Blaze, what's up this week?
It's going to be cooler. It's certainly not going to be hot like Friday, Saturday, and even today in those 80s and 90s. And it's all being brought in by a cold front that is currently bringing some rain activity now into parts of Vernon County. Everybody else is quiet, so we'll take it into parts of La Crosse, Vernon, as well as Monroe counties, dealing with some light rain off towards Camp Douglas, into Sparta, Cashton, back into Genoa, West B, and maybe even into Viroqua at this moment. But I'll zoom out and put this in a loop. Over the last 3 hours, they're moving more northeast than east. So it's going to take some time before more of us deal with or at least see some of that rain beginning, but we are anticipating some of that shower activity to really pick up here in the early morning hours on Monday and then stick with us through at least the rest of the afternoon. So coming up with the full forecast, we're going to take a look at just how much rain we could pick up and what temperatures will be like next week.
All right, Blaze, thank you. Now to Madison's east side, where a police chase happened after a traffic stop last night. Starting on Lakewood Boulevard in Sherman, ending with multiple agents responding to Madison's east side. This happened just after 11's Saturday night in Sherman Terrace neighborhood, just east of Tenney Park, where the chase ended. You can see a damaged SUV struck on a curb in the Fordham Avenue Strip Mall parking lot, bordering the neighborhood. Officers from Maple Bluff, Shorewood Hills, and Waunakee, as well as Wisconsin state troopers were on scene. Several law enforcement officers, 2 drones, and a police K-9 also searched the area. The SUV was towed from the scene and it was cleared around midnight. Madison police confirmed that there is no threat to the public. And right now, Rock County Sheriff's Department is investigating a house fire at a vacant home. Crews responded earlier this morning around 9:30. Several fire departments responded to the scene and thankfully no one is hurt. Rock County Sheriff's Department says this doesn't seem to be suspicious, but an investigation is ongoing. And as the government shutdown enters its second week, President Donald Trump says any firings of government employees will be because of Democrats. This comes as CBS News poll finds Americans are frustrated with the shutdown and worry about its impact on the economy. CBS News' Chanel Call has more.
As the government shutdown enters its second week, President Trump remains adamant that Democrats are responsible for the shutdown and for the potential layoffs of government employees. The White House says firings will happen if the government is not reopened soon.
We're ready to go back. You know, we have a record-setting economy. We have a record-setting country. Prices are way down. We're doing better than the country's ever done. And the Democrats hate seeing that. It's up to them. Anybody laid off, that's because of the Democrats.
A new CBS News poll finds many Americans are frustrated with the shutdown, disapproving of the White House, Republicans in Congress, and Democrats in Congress nearly equally. The poll also finds that those surveyed are worried about the impact the shutdown could have on the economy, with 49% saying they're very concerned and 31% saying they are somewhat concerned. On Sunday's Face the Nation, congressional leaders from both sides of the aisle blame the opposing party for the shutdown, with Democratic leaders saying they're fighting for Americans' health care and Republicans saying the Democrats are being unreasonable.
We have a health care crisis in America caused by the Republicans. They've barreled us towards a shutdown because they don't want to deal with that crisis.
There's probably 400 different ideas on how to fix that, but we need a little time to do it. We're not saying that we won't negotiate it. We're saying turn the lights back on in Congress.
The next congressional vote on the shutdown is expected to take place on Monday. Chanel Call, CBS News.
Today, people in Monona are letting go of stigmas related to disabilities at an event called Unconditionally Confident. The host, Michaela Mulrow, is using the event to uplift and inspire people to get rid of those stereotypes. Mulrow has craniofacial and hearing disabilities. She told News 3 Now today that she faces barriers, but she does not let that stop her.
My main message for everyone is just put yourself out there. Do it, stop being afraid, and just be in the moment. And don't, everybody has so many ideas, yet they kind of go to the side. And then you find yourself thinking, whoa, why am I still where I'm at? So just push yourself and see how far you can go.
Really such an uplifting message. Today's event is the first of a free 6-week series. And you might have seen them marching up and down State Street, Madison's very own mounted police unit. But did you know there's a chance for you to meet the horses up close and personal? That's what the public was able to do today at the Friends of Madison Mounted Horse Patrol Apple Orchard fundraiser at Alpine Ridge Orchard in Brooklyn. Bubba, Taurus, Cooper, Thor, Spirit, and Buckets were all in attendance. That's the names of the horses. They were alongside their officers. You can learn about their work and take part in fun games, including, of course, some apple picking. Katie Ripple is a board member of the fundraising group and says the Mounted Police Unit fills a special niche when it comes to keeping the city safe.
Crowd control in State Street, they are super important during they actually just got their hours extended, which is great for bar time and making sure people get home safe and are okay at the end of the night. Yeah, so they're just, police horses are great, and I'm so glad Madison has a unit, and I'm so glad that I can help support them through this.
Ripple also says mounted units are helpful in search and rescue missions because of their size, making them able to see things sometimes drones can't even see. For now, there's no public events planned to meet the horses, but you can always organize an informal meet and greet in your neighborhood at thecityofmadison.com. Now to Warner Park, where people are getting their steps in for a good cause. Today, the Alzheimer's Association hosted the 2025 Madison Walk to End Alzheimer's, bringing in a sea of purple and raising a fundraising goal of $276,000. Our Nash Dara has more.
The annual walk brought in over 1,000 people from across Dane County and south central Wisconsin, all with a similar goal in mind, and that is fighting Alzheimer's. Although each person's fight is different than the others, there was a promise garden at the event that would distinguish people's fights by flower color and why they are connected to this important cause.
The purple flower represents those who've lost someone to the disease. The orange flower is for those who are advocating to put an end to Alzheimer's and all dementia in the future. Yellow is for those who are caring for a loved one who might be living with Alzheimer's or dementia. And then the blue flower is for those who are living with the disease.
One of the participants and contributors for the walk today was Amanda Day, who in June of this year went to Washington, D.C. as an advocate for Alzheimer's and working with others from all over the country to help find a cure.
Walking for my father who passed away from Lewy body dementia, raising funds and awareness for Alzheimer's and trying to end this awful disease.
Due to the loss of Amanda's father, she was given a purple flower, which she intends to use with great regard.
I'm going to place this one on my father's cemetery grave.
The event itself is great for raising awareness, but it also provides a platform to express what is still needed to keep fighting Alzheimer's.
Much needed funds to ensure that we can drive our mission forward, fund research, provide care and support programs, and all the education that the association does in the community as well.
At Warner Park, Nash Dara, News 3 Now.
Nash, thank you. And you've seen our very own Brady Mallory also emceeing that event. Thanks to everyone that showed up, the Alzheimer's Association met their fundraising goal. And matter of fact, they surpassed it, raising more than $300,000 by the start of the walk. And tomorrow, the Brewers are back at home in Milwaukee, continuing the National League Division Series against the Cubs. Brewers won Game 1 Saturday 9-3. As we all know, the Brewers and the Cubs have their famous rivalry. Saturday, fans came together to support their teams during this must-watch playoff series.
If they close the roof and it starts leaking like it did last time, hey, we got this.
And the Cubs fans will be sad, but we'll console them on the way home.
Again, tomorrow, the Brewers and the Cubs are in Milwaukee. First pitch is at 8:08 p.m. We will have more on the Brewers and the Cubs in a few minutes during our sports segment. Meanwhile, the Green and Gold were not on the field today, but they will be back next Sunday. Right now, the Packers are on a bye week. Last week, Green Bay tied a game with the Cowboys in Dallas. On October 12th, the Packers are in Green Bay playing the Bengals. You can watch that game right here on Channel 3 at 3:23 next Sunday. And if you see more red and white in Madison this week than usual, it's because it's officially UW's homecoming week. Here are some of the biggest events going on this week. Feel the Hill starts Thursday. The homecoming parade is Friday. And after the parade, there will be a multicultural yard show. And of course, on Saturday, Wisconsin will play Iowa at 6 p.m. And reports of President Donald Trump sending 300 National Guard members from California to Oregon. We have Governor Gavin Newsom's response in just minutes. And a mass shooting in Alabama. After the break, we are hearing the latest as police search for a suspect.
You're watching News 3 Now at 10.
Welcome back. California Governor Gavin Newsom says President Donald Trump has ordered 300 members of California's National Guard to Oregon. This comes a day after a federal judge temporarily blocked the president's plan to deploy members of Oregon's National Guard to Portland. The Trump administration says the National Guard is needed in Portland to help protect ICE agents. The judge ruling on Saturday sided with Oregon state attorneys who argued that the protests in Oregon are not significantly violent enough to require the military. Trump's administration plans to appeal that ruling, and Newsom said he plans to sue the Trump administration to stop the deployment of his state's National Guard to Oregon. Now to a possible ceasefire between Israel and Hamas. This as Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says a hostage deal could be reached in a matter of days. CBS's Deborah Pata has more from East Jerusalem.
Suspended between hope and dread. Families and friends of hostages who've been waiting 730 days for their loved ones are not celebrating yet.
We have lived through Hamas lies before. We cannot let another deal collapse.
Many Israelis worry the danger lies within. Right-wing members of Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's ruling coalition, Ben Gvir and Bezalel Smotrich, have threatened to collapse his government if Hamas still exists after the hostages are released.
And we know that the closer we get, the more Ben Gvir, Smotrich and Netanyahu will do everything to sabotage our chance to embrace our loved ones.
The terms of the proposed deal take the right-wing dream of annexing Gaza off the table and demand a staged Israeli withdrawal from the territory. It is also what is left unsaid by Hamas that could upend a deal. It has made no mention of a key Israeli demand for disarmament, nor commented on the proposal for a governing board running the territory headed by President Trump. UNICEF's James Elder is in Gaza. He told us for Palestinians, a deal cannot come soon enough.
This is 2 years of a relentless attack on everything they hold dear.
How important is it right now for the children of Gaza?
Oh, it's everything. It's everything. They're holding on. They really are. It's day by day.
Deborah Patter, CBS News, East Jerusalem.
Now to Alabama, where 2 people are dead in a downtown mass shooting that took place Saturday night. Police in Montgomery say at least 2 gunmen opened fire in a crowd of people in a busy nightlife district before midnight. At least 12 people are hurt, 3 of them with life-threatening injuries. Montgomery's police chief says his heart is out there for the victims' families.
Montgomery's a good town, full of fighters, full of good people. We will not tolerate this. I'll guarantee you that.
Montgomery police chief says they recovered some weapons at the scene. Investigators are now interviewing potential suspects. Right now, first we're going to get a check of weather. Let's go to weather. Blaze, it's going to feel like fall this week. It's homecoming week. It's fall. You know, tell us, what can we expect?
Yes, I mean, it is going to feel like fall. High pressure is moving on in as we speak. It's going to be brought in after the rain moves out later Monday, all being brought in again also by a cold front, which is going to cause our temperatures to cool on down as we go throughout the day on Monday. We're looking at those rain chances to continue overnight, especially further north and west. South and east, we're likely going to hold off on that rain until at least the mid-morning hours on Monday. On and off showers and a few thunderstorms, not expected to be severe, to kick off our next work week. And then Tuesday onward, thanks to that high pressure system that's going to be moving on in, we are going to be quiet. So we are looking at the best chance for rain not only tonight, but into Monday, tapering off as that high pressure system begins to move on in. Maybe squeezing out a shower there Thursday night, but it doesn't look too impressive. Again, high pressure systems, they're a fair weather friend, and this is really cutting off a lot of moisture getting back up here into parts of the Midwest. So we might not even see that rain chance Thursday night into Friday because of that high pressure system. But this rain is going to be light in nature to moderate, looking at maybe a quarter to a half an inch at best as these showers continue to move not necessarily eastward, but northeastward. So some folks are going to be hit a couple of times before this rain ultimately moves on out of here later Monday evening into the early morning hours on Tuesday. Again, looking at about a quarter to maybe a half an inch of rain at best. Right now, it's looking like across northwestern parts of our forecast area, and then wherever that second line of showers kind of ultimately moves slowly, which is probably going to be across southeastern Wisconsin or extreme northern Illinois there. That's where we could also get maybe those isolated spots of an inch to maybe an inch and a half. But for most, we're looking at light to moderate rain on and off throughout the day on Monday. And as I mentioned, we are going to be quiet for the rest of the week, and temperatures will be a little bit on the cooler side, or at least more seasonable compared to where we have been Tuesday and Wednesday. Thursday, we could be flirting with the 70s, but it does look like we'll be back all in those 70s starting Friday through the upcoming weekend. So it is going to be a generally quiet homecoming week. Temperatures still, even after cooling on down, are a few degrees even above average. So we're not getting into that real cold, that cold snap ushering us into fall. It's going to be more mild, just slightly above average as we go over the next 7 to 10 days. And if we get back into those 70s, we'll likely be about 5 to 10 degrees warmer than average by homecoming weekend. So there's a look at your 7 and 10 day forecast. As I mentioned, other than the rain Monday, we're not looking at a whole lot of activity here this week because of that high pressure system. But we could be waking up to some frost, say Wednesday morning and Thursday morning, as overnight lows dip into those upper 30s to low 40s. I think we can give the AC a break. I know I had mine on over the weekend, and I was a little bit shocked.
Yeah.
I think we can turn it off, at least for now.
We can absolutely turn it off. 60s, 70s, turn it off. It should be off.
Yep, open up the windows, let in some fresh air.
Yes, absolutely.
Break out the sweaters.
And Blaze, with these fall temperatures, you're talking low 70s, 60s. What is your favorite fall tradition? Do you have one? Like, what are you looking forward to with these cooler temperatures? I know I love a bonfire.
I just like wearing sweatshirts.
Same. It's comfortable. Like, come on.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to not sweating when I'm wearing those sweatshirts.
As soon as you walk out sweating, like this weekend, yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
Saturday, Friday.
It was tough for sweatshirt lovers.
Crazy. Yes, it was crazy to walk outside.
It was.
All right, Blaze. At least we don't have that this week.
Yes.
Thank you. Now, the Badgers lost, Brewers win, and the Buck season hasn't even began. We will have a sports update after the break. look better. That's the only positive you can take out of Wisconsin's loss at Michigan yesterday, but it was still a loss. Wisconsin fell 0-3 in the Big Ten play. And the bad news is it doesn't get any easier from here on out. Luke Fickell knows things haven't been this low for UW for a long time, and he says he's not going to sugarcoat it either.
Well, we're not here to sugarcoat anything. Obviously, there obviously is always some good, but our ability to sustain and finish is where, we still are not close to where we need to be. And the second half kind of showed that. And I would give them a lot of credit in their ability to stick with what they needed to do and what they wanted to do. And in the long run, probably wore us down a bit. And, we weren't able to sustain and maintain some things in the second half.
Bucks made a big move this offseason, waiving Damian Lillard and making space for what Giannis calls one of the best big men in the league, Miles Turner. It was an all-in move to maximize the Greek Freak's prime and to keep him as a Bucks player. Turner isn't necessarily a superstar, but he could mold into one while in Milwaukee.
I'm a two-way player. I'm someone who defends the rim at a very high level. Someone who can also, stretch the floor as well, and make defenses have to respect, outside shots. And with someone like Giannis who is able to get downhill and command so much attention, someone that can take some pressure off of Giannis himself. And, yeah, man, I'm just excited for the opportunity where I'm at.
The Brewers got off to a hot start in the postseason despite taking a week off. They beat the Cubs, handily winning 9-3. They have the day off today, but they are back at it tomorrow at AmFam in Milwaukee with an 8:08 p.m. first pitch. And we are also going to have a final check of weather in a few minutes from our meteorologist, Blaze Keller. Summer is over, but everyone loves the smell of a summer barbecue. But do you love it enough to put it on your armpits? Yes, I said your armpits. Progresso is pairing their Pitmaster soups to make a limited edition Pitmaster deodorant. It's currently sold out, but don't sweat it. There will be another drop on October 16th for $15 in Blaze. This includes soup and deodorant. Would you get it?
No.
You don't want to smell like ribs, brats, and a nice summer barbecue?
Do you?
No. But I'll eat the soup, though. I'll eat the soup.
Oh, yeah. Give me the food. I don't know if we need to be doing all of this.
I don't know. And if I smell that in the fall, I'll just get confused. It's too much.
Yeah.
It's too much going on.
I want to smell like the normal deodorant smell.
Yeah.
I don't need to smell food wafting out of pits.
Exactly. It's odd. But what's not odd? These upcoming temperatures in October.
It's going to feel very fall-like as we go into next week. A far cry from where we went into this weekend. Take the umbrellas to work and send some off with the kids as well. Rain showers in the morning and into the afternoon, maybe a few thunderstorms as well. Thunderstorms are not expected to be severe. And then put the umbrellas away, because we are sitting underneath quiet conditions starting Monday night through the rest of next week. Mid-60s Tuesday, Wednesday, back into the low 70s by Friday.
All right, have a safe night and a good Monday. See y'all tomorrow at 10.